David.
UKIP spokesperson David Rowlands.
Following on with the theme explored by some earlier AMs with their questions, does the Leader of the House think that the intervention agencies dealing with domestic abuse in Wales are robust enough to deal with this pernicious crime?
Well, as I said in response to a number of other members, there are a number of initiatives which are really interesting across Wales. They're all tied up with a number of complex initiatives around data sharing and protocols. But I did visit the MASH in Cardiff Central Police Station very recently and was very impressed by how the agencies there had come together to overcome some of the technical difficulties, right down to actually having social workers sitting beside police officers with their separate systems on 2 different screens so that they could make instant decisions and so on. It's a very impressive arrangement, and if the member hasn't visited, I would highly recommend a visit to be able to see the good work that can be done.
Well, I thank the Leader of the House for her answer, but latest figures show that reported incidents of domestic crime rose in the police areas of Dyfed-Powys, Gwent and North Wales by 23% and a massive 48% in the South Wales police area. Whilst much of these rises may well be attributed to police recognition and growing confidence in reporting such crime, does the Leader of the House not feel these are a troubling set of statistics?
Yes, of course, all the statistics on domestic violence are troubling, and it's a scourge in our society, and we have to have a range of options for preventing this and for tackling both the victims and the perpetrators and their various issues. For the first time in Wales, we've got standards for relevant authorities set on training related to violence against women, domestic abuse and sexual violence. The National Training Framework raises the profile of these issues and upskills the public service to respond more effectively to those experiencing violence against women, domestic abuse and sexual violence. Over 70,000 people in Wales have accessed the training under the National Training Framework, so that's 70,000 more professionals who are more knowledgeable, more aware and more confident in responding to those experiencing this sort of violence. So we're working very hard to make sure that we raise standards for professionals right across Wales. I've already mentioned some of the other things we're doing around multi-agency work and so on, but the member raises a very important point, and we're working very hard to make sure that we get all aspects of that agenda correct here in Wales.
David? Well, again, I thank the Leader of the House for that comprehensive answer. But Welsh Women's Aid, one of the excellent agencies which I'm sure you alluded to earlier on, dealing with domestic crime, and part of whose remit is the provision of refuges for victims, are hugely concerned with cuts to funding, citing the fact that 388 survivors of domestic abuse could not be accommodated in 2016. These refuges are often a critical element in giving victims of domestic abuse the courage to leave the abusive partner. So how can a cut in funding for these agencies and property provision be in any way justified? The figures above show a growing desire with victims to seek intervention. Surely, the Leader of the House, we should be increasing funding for refuge provision, not cutting it.
And I couldn't agree more. What we've done is we've looked to see how we can manage our own decreasing budget in this area as a result of the austerity policies of the current UK government in order to best make the use of that. And we're doing that by increasing the flexibility of our local service partners to use their grant in more imaginative ways and to collaborate better on a regional scale. We fund the regional coordinators specifically to enable them to do that. I absolutely understand the concerns of the organisations, including Welsh Women's Aid, that provide the refuges. We're going to be working very hard with local partners to make sure that we get the very best out of the funding that's available to us.
Thank you.